Hey guys, 59 Gaming here, back with another one of these fan-made response videos, and today we're going to be taking a look at your guys' submissions for the upcoming EZA for STR Transforming Cooler. Probably one of the most anticipated EZAs, honestly, ever in this game. Ever since the celebration started, people have been asking for this guy's EZA left and right, and now we officially have confirmation for this. We did receive 52 responses for a fan-made sort of like concepts for this guy's EZA. So I'm going to go ahead and pick this response out, and I'm going to read what this guy submitted, and we'll take a look and see what it looks like. So, pre-transformed super attack raises attack and defense, so he's infinitely stacking attack and defense, causes immense damage to the enemy, and greatly lowers attack and defense. I think if I had to summarize like the number one thing that I've seen people want the most out of this guy's EZA, it's probably the ability to stack defense. I think I've seen that more than anything else. So this, I think, super attack effect definitely captures what most people want. We'll start with the pre-transform stuff, and then we'll go into the post-transform stuff later. So the passive for the pre-transform state is going to be attack plus 160% and defense plus 260%. Okay. Terrifying Conquerors category allies key plus 3, attack and defense plus 35%, and a 6% chance to perform a critical hit. So that's not restricted to the amount of enemies either, I guess. Okay. Plus an additional key plus 1, and defense plus 25%, and attack and defense plus 25%, and 6% chance to perform a critical hit when facing 2 or more enemies. Okay, so he's basically switching up how the support works, because prior to EZA, he's buffing transformation boost when facing one enemy, and then multiple enemies he's buffing Terrifying Conquerors. So at this point, what this guy has done is he's eliminated the specific buff for transformation boost. He's only giving a specific buff to Terrifying Conquerors, and then he's giving a I guess an overarching buff to the whole team for any category when there's multiple enemies. Interesting. I don't know if they would do this, because this technically could result in like him becoming worse in a way, because right now he's buffing transformation boost when fighting one enemy. There's a chance that he will no longer be buffing transformation boost characters when fighting one enemy, because now it's just Terrifying Conquerors. But okay, interesting. Reduces damage received by 20% in slots 2 and 3, and reduces damage received by 40% when this character is the first to collect key spheres in a turn. This is pretty much, I think, what most people wanted LR Metal Cooler to be. They wanted him to be a slot 1 character to support and just sort of be the damage sponge for LR STR Cooler, and slot 2, obviously the LR, the final form one. So I mean, this would make for an insane rotation. You have this guy in slot 1, he has 260% defense at the start of the turn, he's stacking attack and defense infinitely, and he gets 40% damage reduction. Yeah, that would be a pretty absurd slot 1 character here, and he's supporting. So what is he giving? He's giving 60% support to Terrifying Conquerors when there's multiple enemies. When there's one enemy, he's still giving 35% to Terrifying Conquerors. Okay. And then the post-transformation, so the super attack effect is greatly raises attack and raises defense, causes immense damage, and massively lowers enemy defense. So basically all this is doing now, from a step up from the pre-transform state, is it's greatly stacking attack instead of just regular stacking. So that's going to be pretty powerful there. Post-transformation, key plus 1, attack and defense plus 260%. Terrifying Conquerors category allies, key plus 3, and attack and defense plus 35%, and 6% chance to perform a critical hit. Launches an additional super attack, launches an additional attack with a rare chance of being a super attack, and reduces damage received by 50% when this character is the first to collect key spheres in a turn. Interesting. So he's sort of keeping the support in the post-transform state, but it's only a portion of the support. But Terrifying Conquerors is still gaining 35%, 6% chance to crit 3 key, and he's keeping his spot as a slot 1 unit. He has 50% damage reduction as the slot 1 character, and he's doing a guaranteed additional with a rare chance of doing a second guaranteed additional super. Plus he's infinitely stacking defense still, and yeah, if this is actually what it turns out to be, it's over. It is actually over. But that's going to be this concept that I chose. Let's move on to the next person, and we'll see what their concept looks like.
Yo, what's good? It's Vilify, looking at another fan-made concept for STR Cooler. This one comes from Resonance Spark over on Twitter. The super attack effects for Cooler goes as follows. Base form, raises attack and defense for 1 turn, causes immense damage to the enemy, and lowers their attack and defense. I think that's really good. Raising defense would be quite ideal in terms of this Cooler. You know, we kind of see that his attack is okay, like for the time when he came out, right? Like the offensive numbers that he can reach are decent, and just being able to raise that defense and get him to be a little bit more of a defensive support unit in that base form is kind of what we're looking for. Obviously isn't going to be carrying us through difficult content or anything like that, but just a usable option in places like the red zone I think would be amazing for this Cooler. So causing immense damage and lowering attack and defense is obviously super valuable in terms of Super Battle Road. Just being able to lower attack and kind of cheese that with other units that can lower attack is just huge, because, you know, you kind of find yourself, like, especially with the STR Final Form Cooler, where, you know, he's doing 3 12-key super attacks and lowering defense on all of those, with also lowering defense from the other STR Cooler. Like, you're just looking at so many attack lowerings that go in between, so I think that's a really good start. When we go to the Final Form, it just raises attack and then greatly raises defense for 1 turn, so I do like that. Just the more defense, the better. Causes immense damage and greatly lowers defense, so... again, no lowering of the attack here, but again, I think that would make a lot of sense, as in the final form, he just does become a little bit more offensive based and is really just trying to get rid of the enemy before they can even hit you back, and that means lowering the defense will kind of help you do that, because you're seeing this Cooler usually spit out 2 or 3 supers when he transforms, and you know, where you want to run him against the pure and hybrid Saiyans is where he's going to be guaranteed crits on these anyway, so we're probably going to be seeing 7, 8, 9 million attack stats when he's transformed that are guaranteed crits against pure and hybrid Saiyans, so I would really expect that to kind of stay the same. Let's go ahead and look at the passive skill from this one. Now, this one is pretty light here. So his passive skill just from attack and defense plus 150 at the start of turn, and then 50% support for a transformation boost and Terrifying Conquerors. So there are a lot of good transformation boost using units in this game, and 50% support. So let me go ahead and pull up the kind of... I should have had this up ahead of time, but let's go ahead and look at Cooler here and see how his, like, what is his passive like in this base anyway? Is it really short? Yeah, it is. Okay, so all right. Yeah, so the 50, so what they're basically doing here is making the 50% unconditional rather than having to have it enemy restricted. I think that's really good. Yeah, I'd be okay with just that. I think for an EZA, like, that makes a lot of sense. I think this EZA is very realistic from this guy here. And then in final form, we get key 3, which is very helpful, and then the attack and defense plus 200%. Launches 2 additional attacks that have high chances of becoming super attacks, plus an additional key plus 1, and attack and defense plus 10% with each attack performed, up to key plus 5, and attack and defense plus 50%. Performs a critical hit against pure and hybrid Saiyans. I think that's good. I do like how they did not tweak the active skill, because I think he has one of the best active skill conditions in the game, where it's literally like, it's almost free essentially when you are fighting a pure or a hybrid Saiyan, which is still a decent amount of the content in the game. Like, we're gonna see a run where it's not all movie bosses and extreme class enemies, and we're going to probably have that run where extreme class allies are what you're looking for against pure and hybrid Saiyan units, and this guy is just going to be an absolute ace in that situation. So again, this one comes from the homie Resonance Spark over on Twitter. I appreciate you putting this one out. STR Cooler, if he looks like this, I'd be pretty satisfied. I think this one is a very realistic projection of what it could look like. Not going to be, oh my god, overpowered or anything like that. No guard, no damage reduction, but, you know, could probably look really impressive with the stats and look something along the lines of what STR or AGL Metal Cooler would look like, and I think this is kind of a good stream for how they're going to be doing EZAs. But that's all I got for you in this one. Let's go ahead and move on to the next creator.
What is going on, 5'9" gamers? Joe Wags here, doing one of these STR Cooler EZA fan-made concepts. I apologize for my voice. I am getting over an illness right now, but we're getting there. So anyways, very excited to see what Dokkan is going to do with this STR Cooler. I think it's going to be pretty hard for them to fumble them. I really hope they make him busted, and I think because he's going to be in part 3, he will be busted. So just as a reference point, Cooler pre-EZA is pretty basic, right? So pre-transform, he's just attack and defense 100, and then he does a support passive, the Terrifying Conquerors and transformation boost. And then after transforming, he goes up to a 180 attack and defense with 3 key, and then he gets a bunch of additionals and crits against pure Saiyans or hybrid Saiyans, right? So I found one here that I thought was a pretty decent upgrade for him. So this one comes from Zephyr Ultimatum. So for the super attack effect pre-transformed, greatly raises defense for 1 turn, does immense damage, and greatly lowers attack and defense. I think the defense raise has to happen for sure. I would love if they gave him stacking defense. If they actually made him stacking, it would be crazy, because then you could keep him as a super defensive like support option and not even transform him, right? But I think at least getting the 1-turn defense is good there, right? And then transformed, greatly stacking attack, which I believe he already did stack attack. I'll double check that again. Yeah, he already stacked. Oh, normally he just raised attack, so he's going to get a higher, like a greatly raised attack. So infinitely stacking attack, a 1-turn defense buff, and then immense damage and lowers defense there. And then the passive, so going from 100 to 150 attack and defense, an additional attack and defense 50 while performing a super. I think that would be a really nice bump for him, because that's going to really impact the stats because it's on super. And then transformation boost, allies key 3 and attack and defense 30 when facing one enemy. Terrifying Conquerors key 3 and attack and defense 50 when facing 2 or more. And then this is the part I really like. Reduces damage by 30% if there's a pure Saiyan, hybrid Saiyan, or movie heroes category enemy. So, excuse me, I think getting something like that would be really nice, because everybody I think wants this cooler pre-transform to be pretty defensive. So anything they can do to make him more defensive, I would say the better, right? And then once you transform, key 3 and attack and defense 220, so nice little bump there. Launches 2 additional attacks that have a medium chance of becoming a super attack, and then performs a crit and reduces damage by 40% if there's a pure Saiyan, hybrid Saiyan, or movie hero. So I like the idea that they added movie hero onto that. I actually realistically think they could do that. So I think this is a very realistic look at what this cooler could get. It's not like anything outlandish. Yes, the damage reduction is nice, but there is restriction on it. So I would love it if this was the cooler. The only thing that could make this guy more busted, once again, is to give him stacking defense pre-transform. So anyways, guys, there you go. We're going to go ahead and pass it off to the next one.
What is going on, my dudes? Tasher here with the boys at 5-9 Mobile, and we are going to be talking about STR Cooler's EZA. Yes! Finally, he's getting an EZA. Now I can stop hearing you guys in the top 5 best leaky partners whenever I put him on here. You know, hey, you know, he's not that good. Now he's going to be great. And honestly, with this kit that your boy Shaggy01 actually put out, this is his kit, I'd be pretty impressed. So, pre-transformation super attack, raises attack and defense for 1 turn and causes immense damage, and greatly reduces attack and defense. So that's a greatly reduce about 50%, and then raises attack and defense is about a 25 to 30%. So not bad, not bad. I definitely would take that as a pre-transformation, you know. And then post-transformation, this is super attack is actually going to be really cool. Greatly raises attack, which is a 50% boost. Raises defense, which is a 25 to 30% boost. And causes immense damage while massively lowering defense. Now, again, the best thing I like about these is that in the pre-transformation it is to 1 turn, but this is going to be a 50% boost in attack unlimitedly. So like you're going to constantly get it. And then raises defense stacking, of course, is always fantastic. I love my defense stackers, so definitely like that one. Now, let's get into the passives. Passive pre-transformation is attack and defense plus 150%, attack and defense and chance of performing a critical hit plus 30% when there is a pure Saiyans or hybrid Saiyans category enemy. Terrifying Conquerors and transformation boost category allies key plus 2 and attack and defense plus 40%. So not only are we boosting the support, but we're giving him multiple ways to just utterly destroy you pre-transformation. But it gets even better in the post-transformation. Key plus 3, attack and defense plus 200%, launches 2 additional attacks that each have a medium chance of becoming a super attack, additional attack and defense plus 50%, launches an additional super attack, and performs a critical hit when there is a pure Saiyans or hybrid Saiyans category enemy. Now guys, I love broken units, and this is no exception. I think that this would be a fantastically broken unit. He would just be a beast. So your boy Shaggy, thank you so much for turning in this submission. I definitely love it, and hopefully this is about as close as we're going to get to what's actually going to happen. So I'll talk to you guys later.
Alright, and we're going to wrap things up here with my own choice for the fan-made EZS to our cooler submissions. Thank you everyone for submitting. And it was very tough again, but I did go ahead and choose this one. It's actually a little similar to my concept that I made. So I really like how this actually is handled. Thank you to Base Steel Brando, JoJo reference. Pretty cool for submitting right here. And let's take a look here. I'll read over it and kind of talk about what exactly is going on. So in this super attack effect, it seems that for the untransformed form, he greatly raises defense for 3 turns, causes immense damage to the enemy, and then greatly lowers attack and defense. That's a pretty good super attack effect. The 3-turn 50% raise and then the debuff right there to the enemy is quite powerful, I feel like. So I really like how they handled that. Adding the defense raise especially. Passive skills, attack and defense plus 166%. I like this change where Terrifying Conquerors and Transformation Boost get key 3 and then 30% to stats when facing one enemy. Keep in mind, previously pre-EZA, right, it's just the Terrifying Conquerors, and then there's an extra 20% to stats if facing 2 or more enemies. That essentially means that they're going to be supporting both categories at all times, no matter what enemy you're facing, which will add a little bit of consistency to that, because, you know, obviously not every unit that's Transformation Boost is in the Terrifying Conquerors team. That'd be just really good. And I just personally would like that, especially considering some events now just mix the different types of enemies. It's not just super battle road and like legendary events, right? So I think that's a good change. 30% chance to evade attacks, and then they guard for 3 turns after evading an attack as long as there's another Terrifying Conqueror ally in the team. Now, you're going to be running this guy with Terrifying Conquerors, like, you know, the new STR Cooler, LR Metal Cooler, right? There's just tons of good Terrifying Conquerors right now, so that's not going to be an issue, especially since they're always going to be basically his best supporting, you know, linking partners and stuff like that. So this is very reminiscent of Janembu, right? The tech Janembu, just better because he actually guards for the 3 turns instead of just that 1 turn. So this is pretty good. Just a defensive tech, the extra defense raise, the better support, just all around really nice. Now post transformation, he still does greatly raise defense for 3 turns, greatly raises attack in a permanent stacking manner, immense damage and a 30% chance to stun. I'm not sure if you're going to see the stun come out too often outside of Super Battle Road, right? Obviously, because, you know, even just in the recent difficult content, he's really going to transform at turn 6, so you're not really going to see that, right? Because, like, outside of Broly, there's not really any mega difficult hybrid or Pure Saiyan enemies. 250% attack and defense. He has the additional attack that has the 30% chance of becoming a super attack. Launches an additional attack that has a medium chance of becoming a super attack if there's a Terrifying Conqueror ally attacking in the same turn. So again, if you have him linked up with like STR Cooler, you know, even AGL Turles, right? A lot of these units that you're going to be running on the team, he does basically have the chance to quad super, which is quite good. He does build up extra stats, 10% attack and defense with each attack performed, up to 50%, which would be, again, very nasty on top of this base 250. He still supports extreme class allies with key 3, which I definitely like moving the key and still keeping it here. It's kind of similar to what, again, AGL Turles does, where he still supports after transforming. I think that's going to be a really nice thing if they want to add that, without necessarily like buffing his stats too high. Then, of course, as always, performs guaranteed critical hits against pure or hybrid Saiyan enemies. So overall, I think this concept is really what my ideal version of Cooler would look like, adding defensive tech to the base form, making the support more consistent, then actually making him just a full offense. You know, even he's going to be pretty tanky even with this. So I like this a lot, but that is pretty much it here. Thank you all for watching till the end. Don't forget to leave a like if you did enjoy the video, and feel free to subscribe if you're new to the 5-9 mobile channel. We make very awesome content in my opinion, so feel free to check out the other videos as well. And let us know, of course, how excited you are all for STR Cooler's EZA in the comments below. Thank you again for your submissions, and of course, we'll catch you in the next one. Peace out.